Hello, everybody. Let's give everyone a chance to get on, and then we'll start. Get my phone ready to go. Oh, look at that. I'm a few minutes late as usual. Okay. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Okay. Hello, everybody. So before we get started on the readings today, I just want to take a quick minute and tell you guys that, sorry, as soon as I start talking, it's so funny. Every day I get up here, I have this list of things I want to talk about, and as soon as, I get on here, whoosh, my own thoughts gone. Anyway, I am planning a group reading, you guys, a big one. Well, up to 45 people is how many people we can fit. It will be at the Southview Community Association in Calgary here in the Southeast, and it will be $25 a person and $20 a person if you have a membership. This is even cheaper than the Mother's Day event, but I'm hoping that because this is in my community, and I've spoken to the lady so far that runs the association, that their prices seem to be a lot more in my ballpark range. So this could be something that we might end up doing on a monthly basis. If you guys show up, granted, I can't read 45 people in a 3-hour span, but I will absolutely do my best. And for $25 a person, you can't beat that. Okay, so that being said, what else do I want to say? Yes, I just want to make note to all of you who are, because I know this video goes all across Canada. In Calgary here, we had a very unique little snow day. I got stuck trying to take my oldest son 2.5 hours. It usually takes 15 minutes to get to his school, and 2.5 hours. We got halfway there and ended up having to turn around and come home. It's a crazy day. So anyway, that being said, I'm going to jump in here. And, oh, actually, before I do, I have one more thing I wanted to say. I apologize because so many thoughts, but too many dead people erasing my own thoughts. Okay, so the thing I just want to ask is that for those of you that have had a reading in the last, week or 2 weeks or whatnot, I just want to ask that maybe if you've had a reading, maybe give it a month or so before you call in again. I know there's a few of you who are very talented. I don't know how you do it, but you get through every single week. And I love speaking to you. I just know I've gotten some emails from people that, from people that are a little frustrated. So anyway, that being said, we're just going to jump right in. Hello? Hi.
Hi.
Are you calling for the free readings?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. What is your first name?
Marlene?
Marlene?
Yes.
Okay, so I like to start with a bit of a grounding exercise, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Your loved ones are strong. I have to say, it was you that was calling the few times that I was trying to talk, and every time the phone would ring, your loved ones would push my own thoughts out of my head. They're like, just answer the darn phone. Okay. Okay, so we're going to start with a grounding exercise. If I can get you to put both feet flat on the floor for a minute.
Okay.
And then we're going to take I want you to take a deep breath, but I want you to picture that deep breath starting at your big toe, slowly pulling it all the way up through your body, and then blow it straight through the phone at me. And then just give me 1 minute to focus.
Okay.
Okay. So right away, I have to say, there is a lady that comes rushing forward. Her energy is like very overwhelming. It's full of nurturing and reassurance. So I'm just going to throw out at you in the beginning. It can be a little overwhelming what I'm picking up, and then we'll go back and figure out what it means afterwards. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, so the lady steps forward, very nurturing, very loving, very overemphasizing the nurturing and the loving. So whenever they do that, that can either be an indication that, for example, if somebody never said I love you here in the physical world, spirit will overemphasize I love you on the other side because they didn't say it enough, so they're trying to overemphasize it. Or that's who they were here in the physical world. They were just that person that said it to you, you know, every single day until you were sick of it. Slow this down.
I think I know who you're talking about, and she barely said it.
Okay, because that's exactly, as soon as you say, and see, as soon as you acknowledge that, she shows me the next messages, and what I saw was she put on the rose-colored glasses, and I think what she's,
Oh my God.
well, see, the rose-colored glasses, it's interesting. As soon as you said, oh my God, she showed me times two. So the rose-colored glasses are my symbol for when spirit sees things differently on that side than they did when they were here in the physical world. But even as I said that, and she showed me times two, she said there's two meanings. So, and I tell people this all the time, spirit will show me things and I'll say, oh, this is my symbol for this and this is my sign for that. But these messages are personal to you. So they will make me say whatever it is that they want me to say if they know that you will understand it. So what did that mean to you?
I had rose-colored glasses. She had rose-colored glasses.
That would be why she says times two. Yeah. But she's like, but don't forget that we go back to the other meaning, because she means that as well, that she sees things differently on that side. She's making me feel like she would, okay, slow this down. She's showing me my symbol for distance or space. And she's taking some accountability. So she's making me feel like if she could go back and do it again, that, how do I explain that? I don't know if you guys were not the closest or she lived some distance away from you or something like that, but she's making me feel like this accountability, like if I could do this different, if I could go back and do this again, I would make sure that it came with a lot more nurturing.
We're super, super close. She passed, as long as I think this is who it is, she passed away from a heart attack in the hospital.
Okay.
So we watched her pass 4 days.
I see. Okay.
Slowly.
So this is, okay, stop for a second. So this is where I say it's important to validate so I understand what we're talking about here. Because, so when she's overemphasizing the nurturing and the love, that would be the latter. That's who she was in the physical world. That's not who she, okay. So now I see, and that makes a difference in how I interpret the rose-colored glasses, because the signs and symbols never change. My interpretation of them is what may change, depending on how I understand them. Does that make sense to you?
Yep.
Okay.
No, that makes sense.
So hold on a second. I see. That's why I'm taking, I see. So again, she takes me to the rose-colored glasses, and which is my symbol that I see things differently on that side. And she's making me feel a sense of responsibility. Slow this down. So, and you say, okay, so slow this down. Sorry, she just goes really fast now. She's going really fast now because you acknowledge something about the hospital at the end, and that's exactly where she takes me. And as soon as you said something about that, she was like, that's what I'm regretful of. That's what I wish that we could have done differently here. And that's where she's taking some responsibility, because I think that she's making me feel like that's exactly why she's taking some responsibility, because it was so sudden and unexpected for you guys. But she's like, you know, I didn't take as good of care of myself as I should have.
Yeah.
That's why she's taking the responsibility. That's why she's showing me the rose-colored glasses, that she's seeing it differently on that side. Because even as I say that, she's like going, Tracy, I hated the doctor. I didn't want to go. Like, she's showing me that she would have done anything to make sure that nobody knew about how she was really feeling. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, that makes sense. 100%.
And see, the reason why, and I tell people this all the time, there's a reason why Spirit brings things up and they won't let me move on until you understand it. Because then what she does is she goes to your mom. Your mom's still here in the physical world?
Yes.
Because she takes the white blanket and she puts it around your mom's shoulders and she kissed her cheek, and I'm seeing my symbol for gratitude and reassurance at the same time. I'm seeing the holding of the hand, the whispering of the ear, the rising and falling of the chest. She's showing me everybody was all around. She goes really fast, hey? She's like, keep up, keep up. Like she just expects me to keep up. Okay, so everybody was around her when she passed away, correct?
Yes.
That's because that's the holding of the hand. I can feel somebody holding my hand. I can feel the whispering of the ear. She's making me feel like, Tracy, nothing was left unsaid. You've got to let my daughter know that this was not her fault, that I take responsibility because I should have taken better care of myself. And then she's going to the head because I feel like your mom's blaming herself. Like I should have taken her to the doctor.
What happened was we went downstairs to grab some of the nurses, some goodies and stuff for taking good care of her, and we came back up and she passed away, and my mom blamed it on herself. She said we should have never left.
There you go.
If we would have never left, she would have still be here maybe.
I don't mean to laugh, but I love your grandma to pieces. But you know what she just said? She's like, oh my gosh, do you know how long I had to wait for everybody to leave the room? They would not leave. And she's making me feel like she was not comfortable passing with everybody in the room because she loved you so much. She didn't want you to have those memories in your brain of her taking that last breath. That's why she keeps taking me to the chest. Usually when they take me to the chest and I see the rising and the falling, that's my symbol that somebody was there when they took their last breath. But she's making me feel like you wouldn't have wanted to see that, and she wouldn't want that last image in your mom's brain. That's why she's taking me to the whispering of the ear and letting me know that nothing has been left unsaid. And that is why she's making it such a point of letting you know that she's taking responsibility for her passing.
Okay. Sorry, I'm crying.
That's okay. She's so proud of you, I have to say. She's just like, this is my cupcake, like my princess here.
Yeah, she's like my best friend.
She's like, that doesn't change, you know, and she's showing me the whispering of the ear, which is my symbol that she can still hear you, and she's very much enjoying these talks. She's like, you know what's great is I can hear you so much better now. Almost like, I don't know if there was a communication issue or she didn't hear so well before she passed, but she's definitely talking about how she can hear you better now that she's on the other side.
I think maybe just because I didn't open up to her as much as I usually do to like my mom or something. Right. So maybe because I've been actually opening up and talking to her. So maybe that's what it is.
Do you have children, sweetie?
I do, I have two.
Because she just reached down and kissed their cheeks, and she's like, please let her know that I can see her being a mom. This feels very important that she lets you know that she's seeing you be a grandmother, almost like if she wasn't able to participate with you being a mother very much, if that makes sense. I said grandmother, but I meant mother.
I know what you meant. She was, for my son, they were really close, so my son's 10. And then my daughter, it would have been, I guess, she would have been, 4, because it's going on 2 years now. So she wanted to always watch my daughter grow up because that's been, her favorite thing. So maybe that's what she's meaning.
When you talk about your daughter, she goes to the hair and she's like, you just tell her, I love it like that. I love it. And I don't know, I just see it long and then short. And I don't know if that means that she had it short and then she grew it out, or if she had it long and she just cut it.
No, she had it short and now it's growing out, but now she has bangs, and my grandmother used to always cut her bangs.
That's why she's bringing up the hair, because you know what she just said when you said that? She's like, you finally got somebody that knew what they were doing. Almost like you have trouble getting somebody to cut her bangs the way that they look good. But this time you were able to find somebody.
No, that's true.
And happy birthday, by the way. Slow this down.
Thank you.
Was it just passed, or is it coming up?
No, just passed on the 18th of September.
There you go. Because she's just like kissed your cheek again and said happy birthday. Again, she's trying to validate that her soul hasn't left you and that she hears every single thing that you've had to say. And she's thanking you for calling in today, because it feels like a big deal to be able to give your mom that message that this was not her fault, and to put that to rest right now, and that her mom is so extremely thankful for everything that she did for her here in the physical world, and she needs to know that.
Okay, I'll definitely let her know. She'll be happy to hear.
Aw, I hope that was helpful today.
It was amazing. Thank you.
All right, you have a great day.
You as well. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
It's so tough. You guys got to understand, it's so tough to stop talking because I just, like that girl, there was somebody else on Daddy's side. They're wanting to come through, or like I'm hearing Daddy's hands and that's trying to come through. And it's like, because I have to try to get at least one message for each person. So we'll see how this goes. Here we go. Hello?
Hi.
Hi, are you calling for the free readings? Are you calling for the free readings?
Yeah.
Okay, it's really loud in the background. I'm not sure if you have me on or what.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's awesome.
Okay. Hello?
Hi.
Hi. Okay, so can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, what is your first name?
Oh, I was gonna make my boyfriend do a reading.
Pardon me? Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Hi.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Hello? Is this still on?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, I'm here for the reading.
Okay, so you have a secretary that was calling in for you until you got through?
No, I was kind of busy. It was prepared or after breakfast.
I see. Okay. So you can hear me all good and everything?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. What is your first name?
Clayton.
Clayton. Okay, Clayton, if I can get you to sit somewhere where your feet are flat on the floor, I like to start with just a little grounding exercise.
Yes.
So if I can get you to take a deep breath, but I want you to picture that deep breath starting at your big toe, slowly bringing it all the way up through your body, and then blow it straight through the phone at me, and then just give me a minute to focus.
Okay.
Wow. Okay, Clayton, you come with a lot, there's a lot coming through, so give me a second here.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm just going to throw out at you everything that I'm picking up, and then we'll go back and figure out what it means, okay?
Yes.
So the first thing that they showed me was the white feather. So oftentimes that white feather it either means there's a connection with spirit or there's a connection with the native culture. Is there some kind of connection with the native culture here?
Both. Yes.
Okay.
I have experience near death.
Okay, so perfect.
Not native.
Okay, hold on a second here. See, you know more young people on the other side, hey? I don't usually see this many young people step forward. Now, what I mean by young is people who've passed before we would think of as their time. So I'm seeing quite a few people 50 and under. Does that make sense to you?
No, actually not too young. Like I knew him my age, 23.
Well, okay, so so let me be more direct. So there's a group of people that step forward and they let me know that they are under the age of 50, that there is a bunch of people in the family or on the other side that are under the age of 50. Specifically, then we have the one person that has a lot of white lighters all around him. And as you said, 23, that person I think is the one with the white lighters all around him. Or her, whatever I'm not sure if this is male or female yet, but white lighters are beings of pure white light on the other side that typically surround somebody who either takes responsibility for their passing, committed suicide, or whose passing was sudden, unexpected, or traumatic or tragic, in the sense that there would be a lot of healing needed for either the soul that crossed over or the people that are left behind.
Yeah, a tragic one actually just recently, my sister-in-law.
It's taking me to the throat. I'm tasting blood. So that's my indication for tragedy. this down. But she snapped. Okay, so hold on. I don't know how to explain this. She's making me feel like she died twice. I know that doesn't make sense. Hold on. Was she in 2 accidents, or I don't know what she means by this, but she goes bam and then bam. Like, I feel like it happened twice. I don't know what this means. How did she pass? Because this is what I'm not understanding.
You said Bane, really? It's another relative of mine, my Uncle Art.
Okay.
Probably a car crash.
I see. So you have 2 relatives on the other side that passed away from this similar manner.
I have lots, actually.
Okay. See, this is what I'm feeling with you, Clayton. That's what I said when I first tuned in, is like, whoa, I don't usually have this many young people step forward. And there's quite a bit of them. And so what's happening is, as your one cousin is stepping forward, the rest of them are jumping in as well. And that's what I'm feeling, is like bang, 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 car accident, tragedy, tragedy.
I just lost a lot of bros and relatives this year. And
Slow this down.
I always wonder if they're always okay.
It's interesting because they're all coming through as a group. Let's slow this down.
Yeah, we all used to hang out as like that.
Oh, okay, that's a clue then. So, see, my job, Spirit speaks in symbology, and my job is to like figure out the clues, right? And I try to get them to talk to me direct all the time, but they present things the way that will make sense to you, right? So that's how they presented themselves, was they all kind of step forward as a group. But the interesting thing, Clayton, is that they step forward as a group, but they wrap this big white blanket around you and the female. So the girl that answered the phone, is that your girlfriend or your wife by any chance?
Yes, my wife.
Okay, because they took the white blanket, which is my symbol for when Spirit is watching over somebody who has health or anxiety issues, and they wrapped it around both of your shoulders. And it's interesting today because I don't feel one soul specifically stepping forward to give you one single message from any single person. They more have a group message because they're showing me you standing on the edge of a cliff. I feel like my life has brought me to this point and I don't know which way to go and I need guidance. Does that make sense?
Yes, I found out what I am, an empath and a spirit walker. And I was confused, like how to find my way to become this. I just don't understand it.
You know what? That almost makes me a little bit emotional because that's the first thing that they did when they stepped forward, was they stepped forward as a group and they showed me the white feather. Now the white feather has 2 meanings and you connected with both of them. 1, the meaning is that for spirituality, and 2, it's a connection with the native culture. And what they're saying, even now as we're talking, is that you didn't call in to get a message from one specific person. You called in to get guidance about your life specifically, where you are at this point in time. And they know that.
Yes.
That's why not one specific person is stepping forward right now. Here's the thing, is they just make me feel like you might not be able to see the entire road ahead of you on where you're supposed to go. All you need to focus on is each day in the here and now, waking up and putting one step in front of you in the new perspective that you are seeing the world in. Because I think that's why they keep taking me to the edge of the cliff, because it's like you used to see the world this way, and now you can't help it, but you understand it differently, and you're seeing the world through new eyes, and you're not sure how to react to it. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does, yes.
But they're letting you...
really confused.
Well, they're letting you know that they're sending you, your loved ones on the other side, God, your angels, the beings and things that I don't know what they are. I'm just like a person like you, right? But all of our helpers on the other side are very much coming together to let you know that this journey that you're on of discovery of yourself is about more than you. It's about all of the people that you're going to help along the way. So you don't have to worry so much. Don't focus on being lost. Focus on the gratitude of being found, of knowing who you are now and taking it one step at a time. When you understand that you are a healer, when you truly understand that, then part of that is letting God lead, for lack of a better word. I say God, whatever your higher power is, letting them lead and trusting that they're going to take you where you need to go when you need to be there, because timing is everything. And they're showing me that you're being led right now, and to just trust it, to just breathe. I feel like you're being really hard on yourself. You're trying to do it all at once. It's like you want to go to bed and wake up and just do everything differently. And that's why I said it. I got emotional a little, because you remind me of me when I first found out what all these crazy messages in my head were. It was so overwhelming. I just wanted to be able to help everybody right now. And that's kind of how these live readings began. But just trust in your gut and know that you've been led here, that your loved ones on the other side have been guiding you and helping you every step of the way, and that they're behind all this. God's behind all this. Breathe, trust, have faith, and just the more that you do that, the more that you focus on the faith and the positivity, the more faith and positivity comes your way. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah, it really does make sense to me now.
Awesome. Well, I hope that was helpful today, Clayton. You have a great day, okay?
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye. That's interesting, because see, there's two reasons that people come to me for readings. It's either because they need that message and that connection with somebody directly on the other side, or it's because they need that guidance. And it never fails to amaze me. The spirit knows what you need. Okay. Hello?
Hi.
Hi. Are you calling for the free readings?
Yes, I am.
Awesome. What's your first name?
Cheryl.
Okay, Cheryl. I need you to, first of all, turn me down in the background if you don't mind. I
Okay.
can hear my voice behind you.
Here we go.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay, and then the next thing is I like to start with a little grounding exercise.
Okay.
So if I can get you to sit somewhere where your feet are flat on the ground for a minute.
Okay.
And then I want you to take a deep breath, but I want you to picture that deep breath starting at your big toe, slowly pulling it all the way up through your body, and then blow it straight through the phone at me. And then just give me a minute. And then just give me 1 minute to focus. Okay. Okay, so Cheryl, I want to start with the gentleman that steps forward. I'm hearing Daddy's Hands. That's a song, Daddy's Hands, which is usually my symbol for either a father figure or somebody on Dad's side. He snaps his fingers, which is my symbol for his passing was either sudden or unexpected. Now, that doesn't always mean that they were just like here 1 minute and gone the next. That can also mean like a diagnosis or something, but everything went really fast.
Okay. That would be my father.
As soon as you say that, he also brings forward the female as well. Is your mom on the other side as well, hun?
Yes.
Because he just brought her forward as well. So what's interesting is, okay, so they're talking to each other, and I'm trying to I feel like I'm just in the room, and they're just like bickering back and forth. Hold on a second. So okay, so I'm going to tell you, just throw a few things out at you that I'm seeing. And I apologize to everyone for keep itching my nose, but it feels like there's a fluffy up my nose. Okay, so they're showing me a couple of things. So they keep, I don't know if this is comedic because, okay, here's the thing. I can feel this immense amount of love between the two of them, but they're making it very clear to keep themselves separated. And I'm seeing the number 10, and I don't know if that means that they were separated by like 10 years, if one passed like 10 years before the other one, or if the 10 is related to the October or the 10th of a month. I'm not sure. They're going so fast. They
died 10 years apart.
There we go. Okay. Because there's a loving bickering between the two of them. Does that make sense to you?
Oh, yes. They argued all the time.
Okay. Okay, phew, it's not just me, because I'm sitting here and I'm like waiting for them to talk to me, and they're just bickering back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I feel like it's your mom who's trying to show me the 10, and your dad's telling her she's doing it wrong, and like, but I can feel how much they love each other, and I can feel the relief at being reunited on the other side. So that's where it's a little confusing.
Mm-hmm.
They just showed me, so two things. It's very important that you know that they are together on the other side. And they showed me the symbol for making peace. So I don't know if, what does that mean? Hold on. Okay, slow that down. So I'm not sure. So I just said that they showed me the symbol for making peace, but I don't know if that's what they meant by that. So just hold that there, because then your mom starts to bring forward, she's making me feel like she's reunited with I think she has a sister and her mother on the other side, correct?
Correct.
Because she brings them forward and she's very excited about reuniting with them on the other side. But there's something about anniversary as well, and I feel like this is coming from your dad. It's almost like they're competing. Like I'm trying to I'm up to bat from each of them pitching at me. But there's something about your dad's talking about anniversary. He's showing me the rose, which is my symbol.
The anniversary was September 29th.
Okay, of the anniversary of his passing?
No, the anniversary of them getting married.
Oh, I see. So funny. As soon as you say that, because, okay, you know, I gotta say this, because as we're talking here, your mom's like, oh, this is my sister's over here, my mom's over here, and your dad's like, and I just want to say happy anniversary. And when you said it was their anniversary, your dad's like, yeah, see, I'm the man, I'm the one that remembers the anniversary. She's out busy, you know, socializing with all her friends and family. I'm the one that recognizes the anniversary. He's just funny and comedic. He's very nurturing and loving, your dad, hey?
Yes, he always was.
Because he very much has that, like that feeling. That's how he approaches you. Your mom feels a little bit, and see, usually it's opposite. Usually I feel a little bit less emotion from the male and more maybe from the mother figures. But in this case, it's kind of opposite. I don't know if you were daddy's girl or just closer with dad, but I definitely feel like he is extending a great deal of emotion and pride towards you.
Mm-hmm. I had 3 older brothers, and I was the only girl, and we were very close.
There you go. That's why I'm hearing daddy's girl. So he's showing me my symbol for pride again, and he shows me the house. He's so proud of you about this house. I don't know what he's talking about. Did you move or do renovations on your house? It feels like he's like, now we have to go back a little ways, but it feels like this was a huge deal. And now that he has the chance, he wants to just take this opportunity to let you know how proud he is of you. Did you?
That's interesting. I helped him build a store.
Okay.
Back when I was a young girl.
Okay. And you guys built this?
Yes.
That's why I feel so much pride about that. And that's why he was taking me back. So this is just one of those examples of when I say Spirit will use the signs and symbols that I'm familiar with to get me to say what they want me to say, but they might mean something different to you than what they usually do to me. And you're right, I'm wrong, because these signs and symbols are personal for you. And my guess, because as soon as you say that, what I heard your dad say was exactly, that's my girl, like, and he again showed me how proud he was of you.
Yeah, we were up, I was up a ladder in a skirt when I was like 12 years old and hammering the roof together with them and everything else.
But you know what? He's like showing me you passing on those skills. Did you guys just do something recently, or are you thinking of like doing that with your grandchildren or something? Because he's talking about passing this on and doing this again.
Well, I may one day, but right now my granddaughter's only 4 and my grandson's 9.
But is
we
that
haven't talked about building anything? I built a smokehouse with him too when I was in my 20s.
interesting? So whether or not, even though you might not have done that with your children or with the grandchildren yet, has that been something that you thought of doing with them?
Well, I was planning on making one for myself because I thought it would be interesting because I don't have anyone around now, so
I see.
myself a little smokehouse.
Okay, so the reason why I ask and why I push this is because Spirit usually brings things up that are relevant to the here and now, and they can hear your thoughts. So even if you haven't done it yet, but if you've been thinking about it, that would be your dad's way to validate that he knows that you've been thinking about that and that he'll help you with that from the other side. He's like, let her know that as she's building that he'll be with you every step of the way. He's like sending you the supplies. He's like, tell her don't worry about it. I'll show her where to get all the stuff. It's almost like you're not sure how to get the stuff or where to get the stuff.
I think that's funny because I took like 50 million pictures when we were building this smokehouse, and I was going every little thing. Oh, it was 2x4s and aluminum and this and that, and I was taking all these pictures so I would know how to make it again.
There you go. Your dad's soul is with you as you're doing that. Please know that. And as you build this, he's talking about how he's extremely proud because not only is this a way for him to connect with you as you're building it, but it's a tradition that you're handing down to your children and your grandchildren. And, you know, even if they're not part of it in the process of it being built, it's something they can look at and be like, no, my grandma built that. And it inspires them to want to do the same thing. And there's something about that your dad is very, very much proud of the fact that you're working with your hands. Do you know what I mean? There's a pride around that. Yeah,
he was very good with doing things with his hands, with building stuff and whatnot. He always enjoyed it.
And you know, he's making me feel like it's ironic that it's you that identified with that, because he's making me feel like he had 3 boys, but they don't like to build so much. Does that make sense?
He did have 3 boys, and only one that's still alive now likes to do the building like he does, and so he still works with the boats and he still does the building and all that kind of stuff, but he's the only one.
That's funny. So this down. Interesting when you said that he's okay. So you have one brother on the other side as well?
Yes.
Because your dad, as soon as you mentioned the son or the brother that's living, the way when you said that, I was instantly aware that obviously there's one on the other side, but I wasn't sure if you meant both on the other side, and your dad showed me just one.
Yeah. There's only one.
Well, I have to say this. Okay. So your dad shows me connecting with the brother's soul on the other side, but your brother is holding the soul of a child. So somebody lost a child. I don't know if this was him or if this was you, but there's somebody that lost the child, either miscarriage or abortion or stillbirth or very early death, but he steps forward with the soul of a child in his arms.
That's interesting, because none of us have lost a child.
Do you?
My daughter lost a couple, but she had twins, but they weren't. It was like really early. She just couldn't carry them through.
But did she have another child afterwards?
She has a couple, yes.
Slow that down. And your brother was already on the other side when this happened?
Yeah.
Because that makes perfect sense to me. That's what he's doing, is he's stepping forward and he's got the child. Well, he showed me at first one. As soon as you said twins, he's like showing me, yes, okay, there could be two. But what he does is he shows me that he just babysat them. And that then he took the soul of these children and he placed them back into your daughter's arms. And he's letting her know that the souls of these children came back one at a time.
Mm.
Was there a boy and then a girl?
Well, she has, her oldest one now is a boy and the youngest one is a girl.
That's what she shows me, boy and then girl. So this down. I see. I just asked your brother, why is he bringing that up? And he said, because I love my niece. He shows me my symbol for distance or space. So I don't know if that means that he didn't get to see her for a while before he passed, or they weren't extremely close, or he's been on the other side for quite some time. But he shows me my symbol for distance or space, and he places a lot of love around her, and he just wants you to know that he's watching over her on the other side, and that when she was scared, because when that situation with the babies happened, he makes me feel like that was the scariest thing she's gone through in a long time, and the most heartbreaking thing that she could have gone through. And he needs her to know that, you know, whether or not he was extremely close with her here in the physical world, I'm not sure, but that he very much is loving and guiding and watching over her on the other side.
Yeah.
Were they, so do you understand what he means by the space? Why he would show me?
Well, there's a couple of different situations that happened on this side that kind of make that odd for me to accept.
Okay.
But because I had his nieces would have been my daughters when they were little, and they were close for a little while, but not for a long time.
Okay.
There was a big space, and then he passed on.
So I didn't understand what you just said. His niece was your daughter. I'm not sure what you said. Say that again?
No, he's saying he loves his nieces. I said they would have been my daughters when they were little.
Yes.
But they were close for a little while.
Okay.
And then the big space was they were not around each other for a long time, and then he passed on.
Right. Okay, so that's the thing, though. Just because spirit wasn't extremely close with family members here in the physical world doesn't mean that they don't watch over them on the other side. Because see, what happens oftentimes, and this is what your brother is showing me, and I think that's why he's showing me the distance and space, because he's taking some accountability. And there's no accident for the reason why they bring stuff up. So I feel like what he's trying to say, hold on, slow that down. I can't say two things at once. He's like, exactly. There's a feeling of taking accountability for this distance or this space. The accountability for not being around and not being an uncle as much as I should have. Do you understand that?
Yes.
And that's why I think he's making it an extra point to let you know that he's very much watching over them in the or on the other side, the way he should have been doing here in the physical world.
Okay. Yeah, that would make more sense, yeah.
Okay. See, you got to forgive me. Sometimes it's just the way that I interpret it, but the signs and symbols never change. It's the way that we interpret them, right?
Yes, that's correct.
He just, bottom line, as your family is starting to pull their energy back, your brother needs you to know that see, with him, there's an acknowledgement. I feel like he's acknowledging that he has connected with the emotional side on the other side. Like, I know now how important it is, how important family is. And maybe I didn't give it that respect here in the physical world. But now that I'm on the other side, I know how important this is. Does that make sense?
Yes, it would.
He's very much joking about being stuck with mom and dad on the other side and they're bickering. He's like, at least you don't have to listen to this anymore.
Well, they bickered when they were on this side too all the time, so that's nothing new for any of us. When he was going and visit, and they'd be bickering back and forth all the time. I was like, oh, okay, you guys.
Well, he's listening to it still on the other side.
Yes, I believe that for sure.
He just was not going to let this moment pass without him stepping forward and saying hello as well. They're definitely pulling their energy back. Slow this down. Your dad's making a point that he's the last one that's going to pull his energy back, and he just kissed your cheek, and again, he told you how proud he is of you. He's like, get on that smoker, kid, because he's dying to get it done. He's like, making me feel like in the spring, this is what, he's like, you got all winter to plan it out.
And he's probably right on that, because I think I just might make one in the springtime.
I think that your dad would enjoy that very much. And I hope that while you're building it, that you're able to feel his soul present with you while you're enjoying that memory with him.
I probably will too, but thank you.
You're very welcome. You have a wonderful day.
You too. Thanks so much.
Okay.
Bye now.
Bye-bye. Aww. Very sweet. Okay, so yeah, we've got one more in here. Interesting. Whoops. Hello?
Hi.
Hi, are you calling for the free readings?
Yes.
Awesome. What is your first name?
Taylor.
Taylor. Okay, so I like to start with a little grounding exercise if you don't mind.
Okay.
So if I can get you to put both feet flat on the floor, and then I want you to take a deep breath, but I want you to picture that deep breath starting at your big toe, slowly pulling it all the way up through your body, and then blow it straight through the phone at me.
Okay. Did you get it?
Yeah, sorry, just give me a second to focus. Okay, Taylor, give me a second. This is coming through a little bit different.
Okay.
So I want to start with this. This is distracting first. So did you lose the dog?
Yes.
Okay, good. Because this dog, even before you called, I don't know if you guys saw this on camera, I started looking down and going, okay, what is this? There's a dog that steps forward and just is like, woo, 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 and just is not stopping.
Yes, they did. I lost one when I was like 15. It was like really dramatic too.
And you've never gotten another dog since, correct?
We did, but it's not really a family dog. My mom took it over.
That's what I mean. Because this dog is saying that he was the last, is it he?
I think it was a she.
Okay, she's like, this is the last, she was the last dog that you really loved.
Yeah, because that's what, like the last one that we had as a family.
You know, here's the thing is she needs you guys to know that she has lots of mobility on the other side. She's free and clear. She's showing me running around and like making an emphasis that I can move. Like everything works. I can move. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Do you know how she passed? Because when I asked her how, she said, I was there and then I was here. That's simple. I did not suffer. That's how she put it.
It was like really dramatic, like, I don't know even how to explain it, like someone like killed the dog.
I see. That's why she wouldn't. Okay. That makes sense to me why she said things the way that she said them. And that makes sense to me why it's that dog's soul is the first soul that shows up when you call in. Because one of the things that I always ask Spirit before we start these live readings is that any unhealed wounds get healed. That any messages that need to be portrayed that or passed on that will bring the most healing is the ones that I asked to get brought through. This dog, and that's the way she said, is that when I asked her how she passed, she said, I don't know. I was here and then I was on the other side. I did not suffer. They need to know that I did not suffer.
Okay.
She's like, it's okay to get another dog, you know. It's okay to get another dog. She's making me feel like there's a push to get another dog. Has this been something you've been thinking about recently?
Yeah, actually, my youngest one wants to get one. So I've been looking around.
Okay, so hold on a second. I want to start with the mother figure that's on the other side. But here's what's interesting. Okay, hold on. Are you married, hon? Or
No.
in a relationship?
Yes.
Because I feel like there's a lady coming through that is above your partner. Like, I don't know, so forgive me. In today's day and age, you can never, like, just assume. So your partner is man, woman?
Yes.
Man, okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm feeling like this would be his mother or his grandmother or his sister. It's somebody that is connected to him.
Okay. Like, I have, like, a fiance that passed, and that is on the other side. Like, we are engaged.
Oh, stop right there. Interesting. Okay, as soon as you said that, so one of the things that Spirit does when they're bringing forward, when they step forward, is oftentimes the person that we really want to talk to, they're not the person that steps forward first. The person that steps forward first are the people that were there, that were on the other side before the person we want to talk to got there. So what is going on is there is this mother-in-law figure that is stepping forward. She's making it very clear that this is not your mother or your grandmother. She's definitely connected to the spouse. As soon as you said that you had a fiance on the other side, he steps forward and he's like, man, you just like ruined the surprise. He's like trying to let you know that because Spirit knows what you're thinking. Spirit knows what you need to hear. And he's making me feel like you needed to know that he was not alone over there. There's a feeling of, because he's so young and maybe that there hasn't been a lot of deaths in his family or something. I'm not sure why you were afraid that he was alone on the other side. But he's stepping forward very clearly with this mother figure or grandmother figure, I think would be more accurate. Because even now, as I'm saying this, I'm getting more of the message. And there's a huge amount of nurturing and reassurance that he's with her on the other side. Were you worried that he was by himself over there? Or did you need that confirmation that he wasn't alone? How do you understand that?
I don't know. I kind of needed to, like, know that. Yeah.
Okay. So hold on.
And that makes more sense because his grandmother and him are, like, buried right next to each other.
Oh, there you go. So this was her that was trying to bring him forward for you, to let you know that he is safe and at peace on that side, and that her soul was there to greet him when he got there, and that he has not spent 1 minute alone on that side. He's thanking you for what you're doing. So it's interesting. When you said he's buried next to his grandmother, he showed me going to the grave and thanking you. Did you place flowers or a letter or something like that there? Because he's also showing me the writing.
I put one in his casket.
There we go. You put a letter in his casket,
Yeah.
which is why he's taking me to the graveyard and he's showing me the writing there as well. And he's showing me the thank you. He needs to acknowledge, because there's no way that I would have known that. There's absolutely no way. So that's his way to validate for you that he heard every single thing that you had to say and that he read that letter. And then what he does is he takes the responsibility and he puts it on his shoulders.
Okay.
Because he's making me feel like you were trying to take some of the responsibility for this in that letter, and this was not your fault. You need to understand that this was not your fault. The interesting thing is I don't feel like this was his intent either. That it doesn't feel like this was his intention. This was accidental somehow.
Yeah. It's complicated, but yeah.
That makes sense?
I feel the same way.
Because he's validating that, like, do not mistake this and think that this was on purpose. This was absolutely not purposeful. This was accidental. I would never have left you this way. I would never have done that to you. And that's why he's like, you have nothing to apologize for. Like, this was an accident. Do you understand that?
Yeah. That makes sense. That's what I needed to hear.
He is so incredibly proud of you for moving on. He's like, Tracy, tell her to stop feeling guilty. And he's showing me getting married. I'm seeing the wedding bells. Slow this down.
Really?
I feel like he just, so this is what he showed me. Hold on, I don't want to cry here. So he showed me getting down on one knee and asking you to marry him. And then he showed me as if somebody ripped the ring off your finger and this immense feeling of being ripped off. And then I feel like, and that would be when he passed. And then he's showing me that this other love, I feel like, comes into your life a little bit sooner than what you were expecting. And because I loved him so much, I'm afraid to love this person just as much because I don't want that to mean that I loved him any less. Does that make sense? He said, you know what you need to understand is that he sent this man to you because he does not want you to be alone. That is not your life. You are not meant to be alone. You're meant to be a mother. You're meant to be loved. And he wants you to take all of that love that you felt for him and invest it into your family and have the most incredible life that you could have because his soul is never going to leave you, ever.
Okay.
He's watching over you, and he's watching over your children, and you have another child that's coming, I have to say. He just placed another one in your arms. So are you trying to have more children by any chance?
I just had I was pregnant, and then I wasn't.
So
I went through that.
I see. Because if you remember the reading before, I don't know if you were listening to the reading before this, but it makes it even more sense now this is how Spirit works together to make sure that each person that calls gets exactly the message that they need to hear. And what that Spirit, I think it was the lady's brother, what he was talking about was that he was just babysitting the soul on that side. And that's how your fiance is explaining it to me. He's like, you know what? We're just babysitting on this side. I'm babysitting the soul of this child. But this child will come back to you. That's why he keeps showing me placing the child in your arms. That don't give up. Don't be disheartened. Because that child, the timing might not have been right quite yet. But in the meantime, he's hanging out with your fiance on the other side who's loving him up and keeping him safe. And that he will be coming to you. But part of this is you need to embrace the love that's here in the physical world. You've been putting it off with the fear and the guilt and all of that, and your fiance says that ends today. You need to embrace your life and move forward, and you're going to find that this isn't going to be a problem anymore. This child waited to be born until you could give him the highest love possible.
Okay.
Oh, and again, as they're pulling their energy back, he's showing me wedding bells. He's like, would you marry him, damn it? Excuse my language. But I feel like this man loves you very, very much. Does that make sense to you?
I don't know, it kind of does, but I'm not sure because there's been like someone before, and then we broke up.
I see. You mean that there was some cheating going on?
No, we broke up, and then I am in a new relationship now.
Oh, I see. Okay, so whatever that means. Okay, so you broke up with the guy that you got together with right after your fiance passed away, and now you're dating somebody new. That's what you just said?
Yeah.
So even that, what you have to understand, and I'm going to stress this, I want you guys all to hear this very clearly, is just because somebody is good for us in our life at one period of time doesn't mean that they're good for us in our life for the rest of our lives. So this gentleman, and even though your fiance said, look, I sent him to you, he was perfect. He was exactly what you needed in that moment, correct?
Yes.
And your fiance is saying, listen, I knew that. And I also knew that you were not going to embrace him the way that you needed to because you were so in despair about losing your fiance. So this gentleman was not meant to be forever. He was meant to heal whatever wounds needed to be healed in that moment in time. That being said, what your fiance on the other side, and I keep calling him your fiance because you haven't told me his name, but that's okay. What he keeps saying is that he keeps showing me the wedding bells. And even before he would allow me to pull his energy back, he just said, embrace love. Damn it. Embrace love. Open your heart again and give it a chance because you deserve it. He's like showing me how beautiful you are. He's like just spun you around and he's like showing me like thumbs up, and so the spinning of the round is usually spirit symbol for somebody who's been either trying to work out, take better care of themselves, has lost weight, etc., etc.
Yeah.
And he's like, look at you, look at how beautiful you are. And he's like, you know what? He just wants you to be able to embrace life, moving forward with love and not deny that from yourself because of him. He doesn't want to be the guy that took love out of your life. He promised you that he wanted to marry you, and he might not have been able to physically do that, but he is still going to be whether that means that this man right now is the love of your life, I don't know, or the one that you're going to marry, I don't know. But what I know is that he's right for you in this moment, and that your fiance on the other side, I wouldn't mess with him. I'll put it to you that way, because as the other guy found out, when and if he is no longer beneficial to your life, your loved ones on the other side will remove him.
Yeah.
And it's funny because as he says that, he shows me my privacy symbol around that, and I said, what do you mean by that? And he goes, oh, she knows what I mean, Tracy. We don't have to discuss it. She knows what I mean.
We always connected good. Yeah, I know what he means.
He's still protective and loving and guiding you on the other side. And he's giving you this kick in the ass to let you know that you need to embrace life moving forward. That you have so much more life to live here in the physical world. And you have children, and you have like the most beautiful experiences coming your way as long as you don't shut down.
That makes sense. I've been shutting out a lot.
He's like, as soon as you said that, he's like, I know. He's like, I can hear your thoughts, remember. He's like, this from the girl that used to tell me how negative I was. He's making me feel like you were like Miss Positivity and the one that sees the glass as half full all the time. And he was the one that saw it as half empty. And
now it's opposite.
Yeah. He's like, you got this. You're going to be okay. And just know that every step of the way that his soul is still with you.
Thank you.
I hope that was helpful.
It actually was.
All right. right. You have a wonderful day, hon.
You too.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, all right, guys. Thank you so much for everybody calling in, and I think we're going to leave it there. So again, I'm going to do a post up on my Facebook page later today, but I will be doing a group reading at the Southview Community Association in the Southeast on October 13th, which is Saturday, from 11 until 2. So if you would like to be a part of that, we don't have to buy the tickets ahead of time now. You just have to come to the door. It's $25 a person or $20 if you have a membership. And everybody else, I will, I guess members, I will see you this Saturday because it will be, or Sunday. I'm not exactly sure which one yet. But this weekend for sure. And everybody else, I'll see you back here next Tuesday. Have a great weekend.